And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today I'm going to talk about not a game, but a gaming accessory, and what I think could be reasonably called the gaming accessory, and that is a Geekchic table. Now, you've seen all my reviews for the past several months have been done on a Geekchic table. As much as I like getting free review copies, this table was not free. They did give me a discount on the aspect that I did some advertising for them. But this is the Geekchic Emissary Table, which is, I think, the best one that they have because it can function as a dining room table. It's not just a gaming table. Now, Geekchic has a lot of cool qualities, and I'm going to show them to you. But there is one, I guess you could say, negative quality, and that's the fact that a Geekchic table is expensive. But high-end quality furniture is fairly expensive, and when I was looking for some good furniture, like I was looking for a table for my house several years ago, I found that regular tables, when you look at the high-end, are about just as expensive as the Geekchic table. Now, as we take a closer look at this, you can see here that this table is kind of apart right now, and in my table I have a couple drawers. Now, I have a regular drawer here, and I keep some tools and different things that I use a lot in games there, and then I have a poker chip drawer. I could have maybe got more drawers in this. Maybe they could have fit a couple more. They could have done them on the sides or so, but these drawers are a little heavy, and they do come out, but when these drawers are out, this whole thing lifts even with the drawers in it. It's fairly light to lift, and since I just moved it, I can tell you that's not difficult. What happens is, on this table, there are 4 legs, and these 4 legs, the weight of the table holds them on, and all you have to do is take these bolts out, and the legs slide out of the table. So it was very easy to move, and this framework itself is very sturdy and light. I haven't stood on the table or anything, but I have seen people sit on the edges, which gives me a bit of heart failure, but they can do so, and it doesn't hurt the table. Now, once you have this framework down, the next piece that goes on it here is this white board here. This is the table that you could play on, and even though I almost never play on this table, it sits down fairly deep on the table. You can stand up most miniatures on this table, and they would not be affected too much by the height of the table. After this, you can put on, I have here, a sheet of plexiglass, and this plexiglass goes on top of the table. And you could put maps underneath this plexiglass. Now, it's kind of weird. I don't actually play on this as much as you might think. I have played on it a few times, but I got this other board that I can put in here, and this board has 2 sides to it. It has this blue side to it here, which has a navy blue felt color, and then on the other side, there is the red Geekchic color with the Geekchic label on top of it. Now, it has these 4 straps on it so that once you put it in there, you can take it out. And I wanted the 2 colors because I want to show 2 different backgrounds. I got 2 different felt types. This felt type here is the same kind of felt that you'd find on a poker table. I love it. This is the best playing surface in the world. The blue one is pretty good too. It's a little softer, but it picks up lint more. I got 2 different kinds to see what they were like. If I was doing it over again, I would get them both this kind here. And the Geekchic logo does give it a little sense of, decorum. So you put this on here, and it sits like this. And this is how I play most of my games. Now, this is actually a really cool function here, because with this lower table, you can take dice and you can just throw them. And when we play games, we're always throwing dice up against the side of the table because you can throw them all the way down the side. Dice never fall off the table anymore. This is amazing. It's really fun, and it's a lot of fun to throw dice off the side. Gives you that whole gambler style, so you throw the dice, and that's pretty cool. Now, several other tables, this is the end-all be-all, but what makes this table a little different here is the fact that it's an emissary, and you can change it a little bit. So, you have these boards that you can put into the table. So, let's say here, this would be the first board that I would put on the table, and it sets on these ridges here, and you can place it right on top. Okay? And this covers up. If you take out this wooden insert, you can actually leave a game set up there. Actually, you can leave a game set up in the felt as long as there's no miniatures. But you can leave miniatures set up if you just use the white and the glass piece on top of this. Now, if you just want to have part of the board higher than the rest, there's this piece. Now, I wouldn't get this piece again because I don't think it's really that handy, but you can take this piece here and you can place it like this so that you now have this area to play in, and you have like a little bit of a table ledge here. I thought that was a cool idea. I found out that I don't very much use it. I use either the whole table covered with the wood on top or the whole table with just a felt. Now, if you're going to cover the whole table though, what they have here, the game comes with, the table comes with these two pegs that you'll place like this here, and then a cross beam which goes on top of those. This just slides right on top of those like this, and that gives the boards some more support when you place them on. You can't use that cross beam if you're going to just cover part of the table, but like I said, I never do that. So you can cover that, and then the next board actually has a lip on it so that when you put these boards on here, they slide right in. Now the boards have a little bit of space, and this is a good thing because this space around the board allows for the heat and the cold for when there's contractions and expansions because of the heat or the cold. There's no problem. So you can see there's the third board, and let's get the last board into position here. And you can see that for a lot of people, once this last board is in position, got it the wrong way here. Once this last board's in position, let me slide this one in. Oops, the wrong one in there. There it is. You can barely tell. You would not be able to tell when someone came and said, hey, look at this table. This doesn't even look like a gaming table. Now you can get these boards up. You don't have to pry them up. Underneath here, there's a lever which pushes the board up like this. You can see it comes up and then you just grab here. So it's really easy to get the boards out of here. You also notice on the side here, there is a ledge. And in this ledge, you can put different things. Now, I only have two of the different things you can put in it, but there are dice towers and things. One of the things I have is a tray here. This tray you can keep tokens in or cards stand up in here. And underneath it, it has these locks. And so you just pull these locks back, tilt it a little bit, boom. It's in there and it's very sturdy. When you want to get it out, you just pull the locks out and there you have it. So we use those trays occasionally, but what we use more often are these cup holders. And so cup holder, same thing, has the lock, you put it in, put this there, you can drop a can of soda in there, you can drop a cup of water in here, and it's off the table. If it spills, it falls on the floor. And these can slide back and forth a little bit. They're very easy to maneuver around. Now, we don't use these as much as you might think because when they're here, they do kind of keep you located. When you're trying to move around a table maybe a little bit, you bump into them. So I don't use them as much as I thought I would. And oddly enough, because these are straight up and down, they're really hard to store. So I keep them in a drawer, but you know, I can't stack them or anything. You also get a little suction cup here that you can use to pick up the plexiglass. It actually picks up the boards too. It's a pretty strong, powerful suction cup here. See? Look at that. And there's other accessories. Like I said, you can get dice towers, and there's different drawers that you can get, especially for people who play role-playing games, drawers that come out with fold-up desks and things that you can put a computer in, and they keep adding more and more accessories. I'll tell you what though, for a game table itself, this table is phenomenal. It is so much fun to play at. When I play at you know, those white tables, I have a couple of those, like, oh, what are these tables? And it's as dumb as it sounds, you get used to putting your arms on the ledge here, and you know, you sit at the table and you put your arms on the ledge and you let them drop down in, and it's so comfortable. It's so fun to sit at these tables. It's fun to roll the dice. Everything looks good. The game looks fantastic on them. So the question here is this for you? And you know, that's really up to you. If you're struggling and you're watching this video and you scrimp and save for you know, the next game, then no, it's not. This is a high-end item, and it takes them sometimes up to a year to get them to you because the demand for them is so great. But if you have the disposable income and you're looking for something that's going to last, I mean, it's really cool. It's really fun when you get one of these because you pick the type of wood, you pick how long the table, how wide, whether you want these slats to go long ways or this way, what accessories you want, you know, how high the table. I mean, I love the size table. I might have got it a little bit longer if I could redo it so I could sit, you know, I could sit 2 people very comfortably on the side. 3 people is okay. But it doesn't matter. This table is an amazing thing, and I'm hoping this table lasts me for 20 years. I have no plans to buy a new one or upgrade or change it. And so if you look at it that way, I think the price is worth it. But I'm not telling you when to run out and grab one of these. This is something that you go into. But if you do get it, I do not think that you are being overcharged. I do not think that you're like, oh, of course, Geekchic, that means you're rich. No, it means you've invested in a quality thing. I would actually rather have maybe a lower quality car and get one of these because I use this about as much as I use my car. There's lots of different tables at Geekchic. I've seen many of them at conventions. There's the magnificent Sultan down to some I think the Spartan is the low end one, but as soon as I saw this one, I knew it was the one that I wanted to get. This table, it looks good when it's covered. It looks good when it's not covered. It's easy to move. I found that out. It's fun to play on. So super high recommendation for me. It's not for everybody, but if it is something that you can afford, if it is something that you're looking into, certainly take a closer look at it. At least go to the Geekchic website and check it out. Fantastic table.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.